2 days before Christmas, a car sits in a busy mall parking lot. Shopping bags are piled in the back seat. The keys are gone. The three girls who drove it there have never been seen again. This is supposed to be the safest kind of place. Fluorescent lights, holiday music, crowds everywhere. But in these stories, people walk into malls and stores and never come out. Tonight, we're opening another file in the dark file archive, looking at real cases where ordinary shopping trips turned into disappearances that still haunt entire families. The goal isn't to sensationalize what happened, but to walk through the timelines as clearly as we can, and to sit with the questions that investigators and loved ones are still left with decades later. Our first case goes back to Fort Worth, Texas, and one of the most enduring mall mysteries in American history. On December 23, 1974, three friends, Rachel, 17, Renee, 14, and Julie, just 9 years old, left home around midday to go Christmas shopping. It was 2 days before Christmas, and the mall they chose was packed with last-minute shoppers and holiday traffic. According to family members, they planned to buy a few presents, pick up items on layaway, and be home by mid-afternoon. At first, nothing about their trip stands out as unusual. They drive together. They park. They go inside. Witnesses later recall seeing some of the girls in different parts of the shopping center, but nothing that suggests danger or panic. Just three girls in the middle of a crowded, ordinary day. The first sign that something is wrong comes when they fail to return home. Families begin calling around. Maybe they stopped at another store. Maybe they went to see a friend. But as the afternoon turns into evening, there's still no sign of the girls. Their car, however, is right where they left it, parked outside the mall. Inside are the Christmas presents they had bought. No keys, no girls, no clear trace of what happened between the moment they walked out of the building and the moment that car was found. Soon after, something even stranger surfaces. A letter, apparently written by Rachel, arrives at her husband's home. In it, she claims the three of them have decided to leave for a while and asks that no one worry. To some relatives and investigators, the handwriting looks off. The tone doesn't feel like her. One theory suggests the letter was written to make the girl's disappearance look like a runaway situation rather than an abduction. But that's speculation. To this day, no one has definitively proved who wrote it. In the weeks that follow, police search lakes, fields, and rural areas around the city. Tips come and go. Sightings are reported and then dismissed. Over the years, the case file fills with psychics, claims, possible bones and teeth recovered from the water, and anonymous calls that lead nowhere. But there is still no confirmed trace of the three girls after that shopping trip, and no charges have ever been filed against anyone in connection with their disappearance. It's a case that raises a deeply unsettling question. How do three people vanish from a crowded mall, leave their car and their purchases behind, and somehow never show up on any clear trail again? Our next case begins not in Texas, but in a busy military-connected shopping complex in Germany 7 years later. On November 28, 1981, it's a little girl's second birthday. Her family is living near a British Army base in what was then West Germany, and they drive to a taffy supermarket and shopping complex to buy food and treats for a small party. It's also the last payday before Christmas, so the store is crowded, the aisles packed with people and trolleys. According to her parents, the toddler doesn't want to sit in the shopping trolley. She's carried around for most of the trip, restless and curious. Eventually, near the checkout, her mother sets her down for just a moment. Realizing she's forgotten one small item, she steps away down the aisle, assuming her daughter is either with her aunt at the checkout or toddling along behind her. Those few seconds are all it takes. When the mother comes back, the little girl is gone. No one around the checkout remembers seeing a child wander past. No one calls out that a toddler is alone. In the noise of a busy store, she has simply vanished. The family immediately starts searching the aisles, calling her name. Store staff check the surrounding areas, stockrooms, and exits. Outside, the car park and nearby spaces are combed, but there is no sign of her. According to later reporting, early investigators focused heavily on the idea that she might have walked out and fallen into a nearby river, and the water was searched. No body was ever found. As time passes, the focus of the investigation shifts. The family believes strongly that their daughter was abducted, not lost. Critics of the original inquiry point to delays in alerting border controls, confusion between local German police and military police, and missed opportunities to interview witnesses while memories were still fresh. Years later, new operations are launched. Possible sightings are reported in other countries, and even a set of remains discovered near the area turns out not to be hers. Everything explained today. Decades on, her parents still do interviews and work with charities, insisting that someone out there knows what happened in those crowded checkout lines. One theory suggests she may have been taken and raised elsewhere under a different identity. Another holds that a tragic accident was overlooked at the time. Investigators have considered both possibilities, but as of now, there is no definitive answer. If this disappearance could happen in the middle of a packed supermarket, surrounded by other shoppers, how many people might have been only a few steps away when that crucial moment unfolded and never realized what they were seeing? Our final case in this episode takes us back to the United States and to a teenager who left for the mall and never came home. On July 7, 1979, a 13-year-old girl leaves her home in Tacoma, Washington. It's 2 days before her 14th birthday. According to her family, she's heading to a nearby mall to buy a birthday card for a friend and possibly pick up a few other things. She has plans to go to a party that evening. There's no indication she's planning to run away. Witnesses later place her at the mall that day, moving through a familiar environment that countless people see as routine and safe. Some accounts suggest she may have been seen at a gathering later that night, but those details have never been conclusively confirmed. What is clear is that she never returns home. She does not call. She does not pick up her birthday cake. She simply vanishes from her ordinary teenage life. Charlieproject.org. At first, like many cases from that era, authorities lean toward the idea that she may have run away. She's young. There's a party involved. Maybe she'll come back after a few days. But as the days become weeks and then years with no sign of contact, that theory becomes harder to support. Eventually, foul play is formally suspected, and she is listed as a missing person. Over the decades that follow, her family keeps her story alive. They work with local news and cold case units. On major anniversaries, investigators renew appeals to the public, asking anyone who might have been at that mall or at any after-hours events that night to come forward. According to recent reports, detectives still believe someone in the community may have seen or heard something small, but enough to finally explain what happened when she walked into that mall and never came back. No remains have been conclusively identified as hers. No one has ever been charged in connection with her disappearance. Theories range from a targeted abduction by someone who watched her routine, to a chance encounter with a stranger, to the possibility that whatever happened to her occurred after she left the mall area entirely. Each idea is based on fragments, witness recollections, timelines, and patterns from other cases, but none has been proven. So we're left with 3 different scenes. A parked car full of Christmas presents, but no girls. A crowded birthday shopping trip where a toddler vanishes in the space of a few steps. A teenager heading to the mall for a card and a party, never arriving home. In all 3, the setting is the same: bright lights, public spaces, other people all around. Places where many of us feel at our most anonymous and our most safe. Looking across these cases, certain patterns stand out. Busy environments that make it hard to notice one small moment. Assumptions that someone is just in the next aisle, the next store, or running a little late. Early theories that lean toward runaways or accidents, only for families and investigators to shift over time toward the possibility of deliberate harm. Yet for all the theories, one common thread remains: absence. No confirmed sightings, no conclusive evidence. Just lines in police reports and the memories of families who have replayed those last confirmed moments for decades. So here's the unresolved question to carry with you. In spaces designed to be open, watched, and public, how do people still manage to vanish between one camera, one witness, one ordinary errand and the next? And what, if anything, are we missing in those gaps? If you want to see more real cases like this, Handled with respect and with the focus on timelines and facts, you can stay with Dark File Archive by subscribing. And in the comments, tell us, which of these mall disappearances do you think is closest to being solved? And what kind of case should we open next?